So coming to the first topic's name, that is population explosion. When the population of an area is called that it's on explosive stage. Okay, কখন বলবো যে এটা এমন এক পর্যায়ে পৌঁছেছে, it reaches at a certain stage that the population might explode like a ticking bomb. Okay, like the picture. When there are no place to live, okay, if any geographical area there are international borders. So when any country has reaches its stage where it can't contain their own population, okay, it is explosive stage, and that results population explosion. So a better definition is the rapid increase in the world population beyond its normal limits. What is the normal limit? How many people the world, or in case of a country, it can accommodate, nothing else. If it is in case of India, India is a vast country, so it has some higher capacity. If it is concerning the Bangladesh, their capacity is much less. Or if it is concerning any country in suppose USA, it's larger. Russia, it's much larger. But in Russia, population explosion is possible at a very low population number, because maximum of the area of Russia belongs to Siberia, not livable. So what causes the first population explosion? What are the causes? What is population? Those who are living. Living means already living, জীবন্ত, মৃতদের তো ধরবো না. So what are the causes? First cause is obviously high birth rate. It is easily reducible. So obviously the people more are born, so there is population explosion. But high birth rate, what is the causes behind this? First is obviously early marriage. Okay, look at that picture. This is the situation somewhere in our state, in our country, in some states. Okay, early marriage is very rampant. Some in Odisha, some parts of West Bengal still, and Haryana, Punjab, where marriages happen very early. And obviously low standards of living. Can you think why low standards of living giving aids to the high birth rate? Why low standards of living? Huh? Family planning সম্পর্কে knowledge কম. And don't take it crudely, but it's a statement. If there are options of other entertainment is less, so you men falls into their primal or carnal instincts very easily. That happens. Actually, that happens in Japan. In Japan, there are very low population. Why? There are multiple modes of entertainment, other things. Obviously, there are also things of robotic girlfriends also. In a study, that people are actually avoiding marriage there. I don't know their reason. What is states in the research that they are now craving for rather than machine intimacy rather than human intimacy. I think tantrum and everything, it is the reason. Also, what she said, low level of literacy, some traditional customs, कि बच्चा ले लो, शादी हो गया है, अब बच्चा कब लोगे? हाँ, कब आएगा? 1 साल हो गया तो अभी बच्चा नहीं हुआ तो किसी में तो खोट है. Usually females are more blamed than male, and obviously the absence of family planning, which results into this. If you visit any metropolitan city, this is the picture of any footpath, those who are living in footpath. Here, these children are actually seen as the ways of income. যত ছোট বাচ্চা হচ্ছে গিয়ে রাস্তায় ভিক্ষে করবে, that will provoke our compassion others. Though little children are more, or little children earns more than the older children, okay, or rather than this female, because the female will be advised, अरे बाहर जाके कुछ काम करो, लेकिन जो छोटा है उसको कोई नहीं बोलेगा कि काम करो, उसको जो भी देखेगा अगर थोड़ा क्यूट हुआ तो और भी. I have seen myself that some smaller children getting 100 rupees in train rather than older child, okay, they are getting 5 rupees or 10 rupees, but cute छोटा सा बच्चा ट्रेन में आया एक बजना लेके, he has no music lessons or anything, but the child get 100 rupees. And obviously there are decrease in death rate. Why there is decrease in death rate? First, we have now a better medical facility which is preventing death. I am not saying it is improving our lifestyle or improving our health, but right now we are at a stage where we can preventing our death, okay, and it creates more disabled person rather than healthy one. And here one question obviously come, I think I discussed in the practical classes, that what is the, do you know all about the perinatal period, perinatal mortality rate? It will come later here in another class. And also what is the period of viability? Right now, what is period of viability? That is 28 weeks. What is it? Why 28 weeks? Because right now we have the medical facility to bring a child to life if from 28 weeks period of gestation. If the mother dies but the child is alive and its age is 28 weeks of POG, then we can bring it to life. We have that medical facility. In Europe and other developed countries, it is 22 weeks. And also, previously there were some natural checks, okay. There were earthquakes, floods, rampant fire incidents, which usually checks the population. We have our own artificial check system also, that is war. 2 world war has been happened and there usually a huge reduce in the population. Usually, I will come to later in India's case. These are the 2 points of decrease in death rate. And also better health facilities, improvement in food supply, international aid in several directions, suppose in some WHO aid in Somalia and others. These are the exaggeration of the first 2 points. Advances in medical sciences. And also now, what is the third point? That is increase in life expectancy. We are now eating better, getting nutrition supplement from other sources. There are awareness in better sanitation and hygiene, and also we are trying to give family planning education to others, or in general if we try to educate people, they tend to marry later and everything is all there. Also in life expectancy, what it is in Japan, Switzerland and Singapore, it is 83 years. Japan among them highest. I think it is now from 83 it has been increased to 85. But in India it is 68. In recent park it is still 69 point something. But in just remember, in urban it is more than 70, 72 exact, and in rural it is somewhat less. because of the lack of medical facility. Okay, it has been calculated. Obviously, 2011 এর পরে কোনো সেন্সাস হয়নি, কাজেই all the data are projected or some research produced, whatever, but the actual data, it is 2011, where it was 68 years. Up until new census is being done, it is be like that. And obviously the fourth, increase in immigration. Here we have immigration from Bangladesh. Obviously is a sensitive issue of, so not to discuss more, but in global context there were some immigration from Syria to Europe, and it causes the infrastructure downfall of some European countries, namely Sweden, Germany, where frequent news of violence now has we heard from. Okay, recently some prime minister or any political administrative lady actually commented on some derogatory comments regarding this immigration, and obviously the increase in density of population. People are now leaving the rural area. In case of India, the rural leaving the rural area and getting into urban cities or metropolitan. We usually named it urbanization. Okay, and also there are another names, that is internal immigration. Okay, if you cross the border, it is external immigration, and if you are moving from one state to state, even from one district to another district, prospectively it is internal immigration. Internal immigration will not alter the population number, but it will increase the population density, and in the perspective of that area, it might cause population explosion. Okay, remember this fact, the population density of India is 416 people per square kilometer, rank 31st. Okay, in Kolkata their population density is actually very much high. I think it's 700 something per square kilometer. Okay, but if you go to Ahmedabad, it's a metropolitan with very scarce population. It's coming to at least 200 and something per square kilometer. Now again the causes of population in the short point: high birth and fertility rate, decrease in death rate, increase in life expectancy, increase in immigration, increase in population density. Okay, so population increase तो हो गया, explosion stage में भी चला गया. What are the consequences? Any thought? If population suddenly increased, there will be some consequences, some good one. সবার আগে কিসে টান পড়বে যদি কোনো একটা জায়গায় লোকজন বেড়ে যায়? পপুলেশন, হ্যাঁ পপুলেশন ডেন্সিটি হলো, কিন্তু which will be the more scarce? খাবার, food. And when there is scarce of these resources, what will happen? Famine. তার আগেও কিছু হয়ে যাবে, ভায়োলেন্স বেড়ে যাবে. So what, in a short point, what are the consequences? Overexploitation of natural resources. যা নেওয়া দরকার তার থেকেও বেশি আমরা নেব. Then coming to the urbanization. If a rural area gets overly populated, then other facilities will appear there also. Okay, suppose in Kolkata, when Kolkata was established, I think in 18, Job Charnock, it was 3 villages, Sutanoti, Govindopur and Kolkata, and right now it's a major metropolitan city. That time, what was the major city of our Bengal? That was Murshidabad, the capital of the Sirajuddaulah. But when the English conquered it, they moved all the resources from Murshidabad to here. then people also tend to follow them, because after the downfall of Sirajuddaula, there were no actual king, so there were no law and order. So people thought the English might protect us, so they gathered there, and the Kolkata city born. Okay, also some economic effect, social effect, environmental pollution. Obviously, where there are many people, there will be overexploitation of oxygen, increase of carbon dioxide. They will tend to pollute the water, soil, and also etc. And it will finally, what it will bring, poverty and famine to the whole region. So first, overexploitation of the resources. What I said earlier, that high rate of population, it requires people increases tremendous stress, and the natural resources were unexpectedly overexploited and depleted. What are the natural resources? What are the natural resources of any geographical area? Obviously soil and water. যদি তেল না পাওয়া যায়, ঠিক আছে, তেল পাওয়া গেলে that is also. If soil and water, it is used for farming too much rapidly, it will lose its own power. I think there is a term also, that what is the capacity of a soil to grow how much resources, and also the water, the drinking water level will decrease and the polluted water level will increase. Our earth has some limited amount of resources in the form of water, flora, fauna, minerals, fossil fuels also. Out of them, some are renewable, some are not. Coming to the second point, industrialization and urbanization. What I said, that if any rural area suddenly gets overpopulated, the other facilities and amenities will born there, and it will become an urban area. Okay, and then it will first try to contribute to the economy. There will be some large factories, some economic zones, special economic zone it is usually said. And what will be this is a urbanization and industrialization, it's a good consequence. Okay, I earlier already said there will be some good consequences, there will be some bad consequences. What is the bad? That is environmental pollution. Air, water and soil will get polluted. And the final thing, poverty, malnutrition and famine. When there will be depletion of all the natural resources, first there will be some social cause, that is there will be violence against weaker section. First also the violence against the females, it will increase. There will be depletion of cultures, because different people from different cultures will come. Either it will get mixed or there will be fights over their own culture. If it's mixed, it is called acculturation. Okay, it's an important short note. Acculturation, what is acculturation? Okay, Ram sir will teach you that later. And if there is no acculturation, there will be war, violence, and finally poverty, malnutrition and famine. Economic effects also will be there. If there are too much employable population, there will be scarce of employment, and it will cause the unemployment problem, and there will be loss of equilibrium of demand and supply also. The demand and supply unequilibrium, when there is more than supply or demand than the other, it should be in a balanced state. But if there are more demands and less supply, that is also very bad things. Okay, what are the social effects? As I said, actually it will come before the poverty and famine, that increasing social tension and conflict. The acculturation thing, that is the thing, it happens. Okay, coming to the next topic, that is population dynamics. Dynamics mean how it is changed. Okay, India has their own population dynamics. That is, before we actually do not have data from before the English era. We actually have the first census actually done in 1905 or 6 something this time. Okay. So we have the data from 19th century. So how the India's population changed? First there was high birth rate and high death rate also. There were famine, war and everything. And also there was high birth rate because there were multiple marriages were there, and also there was norm of child marriage. So there was high birth rate and high death rate. The movements and also those things, the war also, Sepoy mutiny and following war, it actually aids in the population decline also. So there was some balanced state. Those who are born, they are getting, those who are died, they are being replaced with those who are born. Okay. Now in 1921, remember that year. In 1921, it is called the Great Shift. Okay. After 1921, the birth rate got declined. Birth rate got increased and death rate got declined. What is the reason? There are many speculations on that reason. So why 1921? There was one political reason, that in 1921 one prominent political figure in our India arise. Mahatma Gandhi. Okay. So our freedom movement shifted from total arms movement to non-cooperation movement. That is one political reason, and also there was reason from global health also, that is true in India. কোভিডের সময় একটা খুব বেরিয়েছিল যে প্রতি 100 বছর একটা করে বড় রোগ হচ্ছে গিয়ে আসে, ঠিক তো? ইন 2020 it was COVID. In 1920 Spanish flu. In 1820 it was plague, the Black Death. So coming to the 1920, remember the year 1921, that it is called the Great Divide. So why? Because death rate got declined, birth rate got increased. So first coming to the points which controls the dynamics. First is always natality. Okay, how many people are being born, and also the mortality, how many people are being getting dead, and the immigration and emigration. Immigration is usually internal or external, and emigration also always external. Immigration moving from one place to another within one geopolitical area. Emigration one geopolitical area to another. Okay. Remember the term that we have to cross the country border for getting immigrated. Now coming to the important structure, that is age structure diagram. Okay. If we divide, suppose we are trying to plot the population of our entire country in a graph. Okay. So first we usually generally divide the population in 3 groups. One is pre-productive 0 to 14, second is reproductive 15 to 44, and last one is post-reproductive, that is 45 and above. Okay. So we divide the population into 3 parts, and now we are plotting the population by their gender also. One step, here is male and here female. Here this is the x-axis, and in y-axis the age diagram, age-wise differentiation will be there. This is 45 and above. Okay. This is 15 to 44, and in this 0 to 14 years. Okay. Now if we try to plot their number in millions or hundreds, whatever the number, so here we male this is an age structure or age sex, sometimes it is called age gender diagram. Okay, these are important. Sometimes different types of diagram usually give in your MCQ exam or sorry. Okay, it is actually coming in your MCQ exams, different types of diagram and how to interpret it. First, it is called usually a pyramid. Why a pyramid? Because like any pyramid, this is a pyramid actually what we seen. So like any pyramid, it's a base, there is a base and there is a pointy upwards. Okay, usually it is called the base and this is the top one. So first, if we try to interpret it, this simple diagram, by seeing it we can tell many things. First, what is the base is looking like? That 0 to 14 years number, male is much more, female is very less. So there might be question, are the male child is being preferred in that area, or is there any female feticide or not also? Okay. Coming to this area, 15 to 44, here also male predominance is there, female predominance is females are less in number. Now what are the reason there? Why in this area, why they are less in number? So they usually live in a they used to live in a position where societal norm was less prefer the girl children and more prefer the male one. So together this 15 to 44 and 0 to 14, this alone can prove that this is a picture of an area where currently the less preference given to the female child, or the not currently where the female child are less preferred. Okay. And why in the upper male is much less and female are much more? Why is it? Any idea? Why there should be? Why males are less in number in upper age group? Sorry, males are low in number in upper age group and high number in the birth and also in the reproductive age group. Addiction problems. Also probably female by the nature, females are prone to acclimatize to the natural changes much easily. Their life expectancy of the female gender is much more than the male. Okay. So Probably in this area entirely there are no suitable health services are there. That's why male are getting male are died very much early, but females are still alive. And also what you said, the addiction problems probably is there. So male are getting male are getting dead too much early in the stage. In park there is two picture of this age gender pyramid. Okay, their base is steep, the middle part is much broad, and the tip is pointy. Okay, this is usually the picture of any developing country where the working force is much more in number rather than the birth rate or in the upper age group. Okay, this is the normal picture of any developing country. Actually India or Switzerland, both are there. Here that is the picture of Switzerland. They have much more number in the workforce and but low birth rate in pre-reproductive age and also very low rate in post-reproductive age. This is reproductive age group. Usually it is also called the working age group. Okay, so high number of this working age group is desired. This is, I think this was Switzerland, and in case of India it is look like somewhat this. We have much more high birth rate than Switzerland. That's why it's look like this. This is always correct for developing countries. And what is usually seen in developed countries? They have actually achieved the higher period of viability. Their treatment facilities are good, and they have achieved they have using the family planning also. So there will be somewhat balance in the here. Okay, because of their long term achieving the family planning, this part is also not that much increasing. But due to their improved medical facility, this part is much more increasing in both sides. Okay. So this part in the reproductive age group or the working age group, they have less number, rather than due to their development they have now large number of post-reproductive age, which is the now region of, which is the state of now the entire European continent. That's why you will see some advertisement of also there, that they are usually try to emigrate people from other countries by some monetary offers is also there. People are tend to get job easily there now. Okay, previously it was the same situation of United States of America also. That's why many people are tend to get to America by hook or by crook, and they are getting rich there. But it is not the case of in Arabian countries. Okay, Arabian countries are very much African countries. If it was the picture of any developed countries, what will be the picture of any non-developed countries? There will be this only. There are low education, so there will be high birth rate, high death rate also. For high birth rate, this will be somewhat broad. But if there are no education, no scope of employment, people are getting emigrated from here to here, another way, here to here, another way. So number of these are declining, and finally at the top, no one is living there. This is of any not developed countries. Okay. Also, there are many types of graphs are there. You actually have to think about seeing those. Look, India in 2020, it was somewhat like this. This one. Here the pre-productive, reproductive, here are also more divisions, 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14. That is how the census is being done. Okay. Coming to the another indicator of the population explosion or population density, that is sex ratio. What is sex ratio? Numbers of females per thousands of male. Okay, very easy one. And regarding sex ratio, what is our newest? This is actually projected 120 females per thousand male. Okay. In 2011 census is what it was actually 940. Which state has the lowest? That was Haryana. And which state has the highest sex ratio? Kerala. In Kerala it was more than 1000. Okay, by then. But it is actually projected. This data is not that much credibility. Until and unless census is being done, all data will be projected like this. Okay. Now dependency ratio, it was actually already taught in your family program. Okay. Just remember, it is also called societal dependency ratio. Okay. Why? Because in society, people tend to more than 65 years of age are not working. Same goes for 0 to 14, because that is the time of studying also. Okay, because any people working less than 15 years of age, it will be regarded as 14 বছরের নিচে যদি কাজ করে কি বলে তাকে? হ্যাঁ, শিশু শ্রম। What are the other way of the measuring population dynamics? That is education. Education. There are some in park. There is effective education rate. Okay, read that thing. I will ask in next class. Urbanization. What is the family size? By family size, what is the family type? All of you know that. What is the nuclear family? What is joint family? What is 3-generation family? Also, okay. And in case of life expectancy, there are, what is life expectancy? সহজ কথায় একটা বাচ্চা যদি জন্মায় তাহলে আমরা সে কত বছর অবধি বাঁচবে সেটা হচ্ছে সেই সময় আমরা যেটা ভাবছি। আজকে এক্ষুনি এসএমসিতে হচ্ছে কি একটা সিজার হলো সাপোজ। ওকে, সিজার হওয়ার পর একটা বাচ্চা হলো, আইদার it might be male or female. How many years it will live, that is called life expectancy at that point. Okay, right now it has a number. The more developed any country or any region is, the life expectancy will be more there. I already showed you that Japan has 83 years, India has 68 years. In because Santiniketan, what it is, urban or rural area? Rural. রুরালে থাকি ভালো, ঠিক আছে, সামওয়াট মিক্সড। হ্যাঁ, এখানে নেটের কানেকশন খুব খারাপ, কাজে আমি একে আরবান বলবো না, অন্তত আমি তো বলতে রাজি নই। ওকে, যাই হোক, সো ইট উইল বি সামওয়াট 67 or 5. If it is urban, then it is 67. Today it is only up to this. Just one thing, we are now living in a society that we cannot interfere with high death ratio. Okay, right now we cannot interfere with that. So what we can control? High birth rate. How we can control high birth rate? Huh? Contraceptive, ঠিক আছে, that is one thing. That is a generalized term. How we control the birth rate? Family planning. So family planning is your next topic. Okay. Tell this question answer. Second কে বলে রে? হ্যাঁ? 2011 যদি হয় সেকেন্ড, আর যদি 2020 ধরা হয় ফার্স্ট. Which of the following is not the cause of population dynamics? Number? Huh? Why? What is morbidity? Diseased. তাতে কেন এফেক্ট করছে না? বেঁচে আছে. Which of the following migration of population does not change the size of population? Huh? National তো population চেঞ্জ করে দেবে. ন্যাশনাল আর ইন্টারন্যাশনাল এই দুটো উত্তর যেন না শুনি, আমি কোনো রিজিয়ন বলিনি, তাই না? ইন্টারনাল. রেজাল্ট অফ ওভার পপুলেশন. What? এত সময় লাগছে কেন? हम दो हमारे दो का जमाना चला गया. ओके, हम दो हमारे दो का जमाना चला गया. अब क्या है? এটা কেউ পারবে? UNFPA. আমরা এখানে what we are family planning we are used, actually those are government provided. Okay, those are actually India is getting the fund from this fund, and also like WHO, here also the major contributor were USA, and now we have Trump for cutting all the grants. So we don't know what will happen. Okay.